first graders. Today, Miss Pereira organized all of our seed packets and I assigned you to either an herb or vegetable or a flower based on what you picked in our morning meeting. I was able to lay out all of our seed packets. And each of you will have one of these really cool seeds to plant. Let's take a closer look at them. The first is a vegetable. It is called a bunching onion. Gabe and Ellis are going to have a bunching onion growing. Miss Pereira loves bunching onions. Some people also call them baby scallions. They will take about 60 days to be full grown and be able to eat. I use bunching onions when I'm cooking. The white part of the bunching onion is really good to chop up very small and use while you're cooking meats and sauces. The top part, the green part of a bunching onion, is really good to dice up small and use as a garnish on your finished meal. So when Miss Pereira is done cooking, I like to sprinkle some of the green around the dish and it makes it look really pretty. The next vegetable is spinach, and this is long leaf spinach. Handan and Farah are going to be growing spinach. I love spinach. My favorite thing to eat when I'm making spinach is cooked spinach. And I like to cook it with a little bit of olive oil and garlic, and I use it as a side dish when I'm having some seafood or some meat or chicken. Miss Pereira is very excited about spinach because I've actually never grown it before. This will be my first time growing it. The next is an herb. It's called parsley. Asher and Charlotte will be growing parsley. Parsley is an herb that is used in lots of foods. You can use it in a salad dressing. You can use it when you're cooking chicken or soups or sauce. Some people make pesto with parsley and you can serve it over pasta. I love to put parsley in my omelets. The last herb is a chive. Chives are used in cooking as well. Miss Pereira uses chives often when cooking. They have a garlicky flavor, and the part that I use when cooking is the stem. So right now we're kind of seeing what the chive looks like at the top. Almost looks like a flower. Aveline and Sylvie will be growing chives in our classroom. The chive has a tangy flavor and tastes like a chive, like an oniony taste and a garlicky taste. They're actually really tall when they grow. Down below we have all of our flowers that will be growing. The first is snapdragon. They come in different colors. And they're not a very tall flower. They're a pretty small flower, but they're very beautiful. We have a lot of students who are going to be growing a snapdragon. Dawson, Georgiana, James, and Ronan. These are going to be blooming in early summer. So we'll start the seeds now, but they won't actually be full grown until the warm weather. The next flower is a giant peony. And our friends Thalia, Zane, Dashiell, and Robert will be growing a peony. I actually have a pink peony currently in my garden. It's a different shade of pink. It's actually probably closer to this color pink. These are actually a large flower when they grow, and they bloom up to 5 inches across. So that's probably a little bit bigger than your hand if you were to spread your hand open. They come in lots of different colors. These little guys are going to grow in the greenhouse until they're about 2 inches tall, and then I can actually plant them right into the ground. The next flower is called a zinnia. Again, it comes in many mixed colors, as you can see in the picture. And Anton, Arif, and Delaney are going to be growing the zinnia. The zinnia is going to also start in the greenhouse. The flowers are 2.5 inches, and they're going to also bloom in the summer. So we're gonna get them ready now, and they will be ready to be full grown in the summer. The last flower is the California poppy. Very pretty colors, sort of similar colors to the zinnia. And these little guys, my mom's favorite flower, are going to be blooming in the spring and summer. So once we get these growing, our seedlings, Miss Pereira is going to put them into a planter, and they will go outside. So all of these flowers are going to go in different planters and gardens throughout Miss Pereira's house. So they might be in the front of the house, they might be in some of the gardens in the backyard, or they might be in some planters in Miss Pereira's backyard. All of the vegetables and herbs are going to go in the vegetable and herb garden. And I have lots of space for that in my backyard. I'm also going to be buying some bigger plants, mostly vegetable plants, but I'm not going to buy them as a seed and grow. I'm going to buy them as pretty good sized plants that I can put just right into the ground. And some of those vegetable choices are going to be zucchini, squash, tomatoes, and eggplants, because those are vegetables that I use all summer long. Miss Pereira is going to be getting ready to put these seeds into soil, and we'll get a video of that coming soon. Miss Pereira is back, and your friend Benson is joining us today. We decided to use the sunroom as a location to put our soil into our little pods today, because although it is very sunny, it is very windy out there. We didn't want to lose any of the seeds. So Benny and I are hanging out in the sunroom, and we are getting your little pots ready with soil. So a couple things. Miss Pereira used these little seed starter pots, which look like this. And I wanted to use these because they are made out of a similar material as cardboard. They're actually organic, recycled materials. And these pods are really cool because once your seeds grow into their little seedlings and I put them into the ground, I can actually put this whole cup into the soil if I wanted to, because it is biodegradable. That means that once it gets really wet and over time, it'll just work its way into the ground and earth, and it is perfectly healthy for the plant once it grows. Inside your little pots, I have put in soil, and I decided to go with an organic garden soil because it feeds the plants for up to 3 months. The soil has lots of nutrients in it to keep your seeds happy and your plants growing. And I liked that it was organic and that it is a really good blend for vegetables, flowers, herbs, and any kind of flowers that either come back every year or if they just grow for the season. So Miss Pearl is going to get busy and start putting your seeds into the pots. First, I'm going to plant Aveline and Sylvie's chives. I opened up the packet, and inside you will see their seeds. They are black seeds and they're quite small. I'm going to just put some down on this other seed packet because they are very tiny. Look how tiny they are. I have already made some holes in Aveline and Sylvie's soil, and I am going to drop a seed in each hole. It's very hard to do this. And then I'm going to cover them up. I'm going to do the same for this one. I've already made my holes. And the package said that I could put 3 seeds per container. Those are ready for water. Next, I'm going to plant Charlotte and Asher's parsley. This is what a parsley seed looks like. Very, very, very small as well. I've already made the holes in their soil, and I'm going to sprinkle some of the parsley seeds into the holes and then cover them up. Can't forget, once I plant the parsley, that I need to blend in the soil and cover up those seeds. And these are going to be ready for water as well. Next, I'm going to plant the spinach that Handan and Farah are going to be growing. And these are what the spinach seeds look like. They look very similar to the chive seeds that were black that we saw, but these are like a tannish color. And I'm allowed to put 7 per container, and I've already made my holes. And now I'm going to cover up those seeds. I've never grown spinach before, so wish me luck. The flower we're going to plant is the zinnia. Arif and Delaney and Anton are going to be planting this one. Look at these seeds. They look like little leaves. They are a brown color, and the package didn't tell me how many I could put in the pot. So I'm gonna just sprinkle a few of them in and see how that goes. I'm hoping I don't put too many in there because I don't wanna, that one got a lot. I don't want to overcrowd them either. And I'm gonna just put some soil on top just to bury them. And these will be ready to go. All right, next we have the giant poppies. And this is a flower for Zane, Dash, and Thalia. These are the tiniest seeds that I've come across so far. They look like little pieces of pepper. I could put 4 seeds per pot, which I already did because they were so tiny and I didn't want to lose them. And now I'm just gonna put a little sprinkle of soil on top of them and they'll be ready to go. Last but not least, we are gonna plant the snapdragon. This was the flower for Ronan, James, Georgiana, and Dawson. And I didn't think the seeds could get any smaller than the ones we just saw for the giant poppies, but these are so tiny. They are very, very small. It's almost like the same size as a grain of sand. And I could put 4 seeds per pot. And again, because they were really small and tiny, it was hard to hold the camera and put the seeds in, which I've already done. And now I'm going to put some soil on top, just a little bit to sprinkle and keep those seeds tucked in. And then all of our plants are going to be ready for water. I am using a spray bottle of warm water to get all of the soil wet. And warm water is good when you're starting your seeds because it helps open up that seed coat a little better. So I'm gonna water all these little friends, and then they're gonna get stuck into the greenhouse and start their growing process.